All right, welcome back. I'm going to get into the stock market technical analysis. I'm just going to cover the broad markets today. I'm not going to go into individual stocks because, again, I think a lot of what's going to happen in the broad markets will really dictate what happens in a lot of the individual stocks within the market. So, broad markets today only. Let's get into the charts, guys. If you're finding value, please drop me a thumbs up. I only get about 200 or so in these videos, and there's several thousand watching them. So, doesn't take much to click the thumbs up. Second, if you're interested in learning this as a skill set and not just following along my YouTube videos, check out my technical analysis course. Multiple concepts broken out into several videos. I give you guys a checklist at the end of that, and it's priced affordable. So link in the description below on that one. And then again, the private member group, I am in that group pretty much every day, commenting at least once or twice, sometimes a lot more active. It just depends on what the markets are doing, or if there's trade setups that I can point out to that private group. So if you're interested in having that, it's $5 a month. Link in the description below on the private member group. Feel free to join up. You can cancel at any time, of course. All right, so guys, triple Qs. I'll just go through the developments that we've got. On the daily chart, again, bearish PPO crossover right there. We got that really starting yesterday and continuing today. Okay, so we now have confirmed negative divergence. Again, at the end of the day, if you guys look at the hourly chart, I called the top, or I guess the video that I put out saying I think this is the top of the market, I believe was on the 31st, right here on Friday the 31st, basically right here. Now, we did have one little spike higher, just a spike right there. They couldn't get that hourly close above there. But basically, the video that I put out, go back and look at it on the 31st, and I think this is the top. And then I think tech is going to roll over. And so far, that's been accurate. All right, if you shorted, or if that was the top, the triple Qs is down about 2%. So it's not down a lot, but they're struggling to really move it up. You can see basically we're holding support here about 313.50. 1, 2, 3, and we're basically right there again. They rally it up and the gaps down fails. All right, it's failing. So again, we're not able to really continue to move up, and in fact, we are actually starting to trend lower. We're making lower highs as we go along. So I think, again, the top is in. I can't be for sure. There's no guarantees, of course, but the charts tell me that it's likely that the top in this rally is in, and we're going to start to roll over. Now, again, for most bulls, they're not going to realize that the top is in. If I'm right, they won't realize it while we're up here. They're going to realize that the top is in when we're, way down here or continuing lower. They'll say buy the dip, and that's fine. But, again, my video, top is in right there, March 31st. Let's see if I'm right. There's no guarantees, okay? But I still like it. PPO, bearish PPO crossover with confirmed negative divergence now on the triple Qs. Once we take out this 313.50, we should start to roll over relatively quickly. Probably head back down to the 200 days. That there should be a bounce there at the 200s. And then ultimately, I think we got more downside to go. Individual stocks here, I do want to cover these because these are obviously kind of the broad market. Real quick, Amazon, bearish PPO crossover right there on the daily chart. All right, we just got that today. So that is not a divergent high, but it's just showing that the momentum is starting to roll over. And we also have obviously this island reversal. It's not an island cluster reversal, but it is an island reversal candlestick. So that remains to be the top in this rally, and I think that will hold as the top as we roll over. Google, almost there. If I zoom in, you can see here's the PPO. All right, we don't have the bearish crossover yet, but it's very close. I think it's imminent, and obviously we're getting it across the other FANG stocks, so I do believe this one will come as well. And we should roll over from there and likely take back this bearish trend line, all right? Apple, bearish PPO crossover happened yesterday, continuing today. Support, it's sitting on support right now. So again, you've got support. There's your daily support. We've got the divergence. Do we get one more thrust up? That's possible. I can see it. I can't completely throw that out. Until this support breaks, yeah, we could get one more thrust up. All right. I don't know. I mean, if anything, maybe you get a move back up to this trend line right here, 165, and that is big resistance. All right, resistance throughout the bear market. So If you do that, it's sell the rip, and I still think you roll over. Whether you do that or not, I don't know. Ultimately, I think we break this trend and head lower. Meta, that one had a rollover, and this has just been treading water for the last couple weeks. Still bearish rising wedge, negative divergence, and that should roll over. Microsoft, bearish PPO crossover happened just the other day. There it is. So we have confirmed negative divergence now. I think it's a matter of time before these things start to break down. NVIDIA, obviously we had the bearish rising wedge. We had the sell signal and breakdown. Again, I believe it's sell the rip. What does that mean? That doesn't mean that when you have a sell signal, you're just going to crash. What that means is rallies should be sold into as you trend, because you should continue to trend lower. There's a rally, they're selling into it. I think you start to take out the lows and work your way lower. So, and their bearish PPO crossover came a couple days ago. So again, those make up the triple Qs for the most part, and that should continue. You know, they all look like a bearish setup. So I still like the triple Qs short. And, you know, obviously back to the triple Qs, you have that negative divergence and that bearish PPO crossover now on the daily chart. So daily negative divergence with the crossover is usually good, at least in the past on triple Qs. And I explained this yesterday, has been good for drops of about 20% or so. And that's what I think we have in store. I think we're going to break down from about right here. We're going back to the October lows. All right. From there, that's about a 17% drop. All right, so that's really where I think we're heading in the near future. You're likely going to get a bounce here at these lows. But ultimately, I think those give way. And I do think we're going to break those heading down to 238.50. So I continue to hold that in target. First things first, we need to break this 1350 area. Definitively, so far they're trying to hold it. We got an hour left in the trading day, so I don't know. I suspect they probably try to hold it today, but we'll see. Right? Keep an eye on that. Semiconductors, SOXX. Again, here's your trend line. Support, and starting to crack today. We'll see how that plays out if it continues to sell off. Obviously, we have the negative divergence and we have the bearish PPO crossover, so it tells me we're going to break very soon. So we'll see. Maybe it's today, maybe it's tomorrow, maybe it's Friday. Very hard to say exactly when, but I do believe it's coming soon, and I think it's time to be positioned short, as I have been. So again, continuing to for that to work out. The VIX, I still like the VIX a long trade, and I am still long VXX. Now, that's a leveraged play, and for me, I take a much smaller position size on that. As long as we're trading sideways, VXX is going to continue to lose. Okay, that's one thing to know. The market has been kind of treading water, going sideways. As long as you go sideways, there's decay in those ETFs, so they're going to continue to lose. But, again, I like this as a long setup. Here's the VIX. You've got bullish divergence really starting to roll up. We've had divergence really right through here. That was your last divergent high, and boom, you spiked. I think we're coming in for a back test. When I look at VXX, which is not necessarily the best thing to chart, but again, this is what I've got. I've got a downtrend line breakout, and it's just been back testing for the last couple weeks as we've traded sideways. Okay, so I'm looking for that spike up. Obviously, that will come on the market really starting to break down. And again, I think it's coming soon because I go back to these tech stocks and I'm seeing them all start to cross over. The bearish PPO crossover is all signaling that they're losing momentum, all right? They're starting to break down one by one. Kind of started out, one by one. Now they're all kind of following. And it's just a matter of time before they're all breaking down and price starts coming down as well. The S&P 500, the SPY, again, starting to the PPO is starting on the daily to turn down and cross over. Not quite yet, but you can see it's starting to turn down. And so we'll watch that. There's potentially, that's starting to cross over. Right now, I think the market is all about tech. For the most part, the strength has been in tech this year. And so I'm looking for that sector to really start to roll over. And then the SPY will likely follow. So that's really what I'm seeing. And given the weighting in the S&P 500, the tech sector is the most heavily weighted sector in the S&P 500. So it should continue to kind of drag these down. Financials, as I kind of, they've had a rally in the last little bit, but they're not really showing strength. You can see JP Morgan basically just kind of holding that resistance level. XLF on that one right at resistance right now. All right, so there's some resistance right there at 32.53. We've rallied up to that resistance, and it, so again, it's sell the rip in these until I see anything otherwise. You've got a big move down, kind of flagged out, and I think there's a continuation to the downside in store for these financials. Okay, I'm going to keep it simple and short. So that's what I got, guys. Again, drop me a thumbs up on your way out. Leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. It helps the algorithm. Join the course and the private group if you haven't done so. There's a lot of value there. And that's all I got, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.